everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Mary Ellen, and in today's video I'm going to be sewing the Closet Core Patterns Pietra shorts. Here is a look at the pattern. I'll be sewing these. They are view C in the pattern. So I've already cut out all of the pattern pieces that I will be needing. I'm going to be sewing a size 14, and the body measurements that align with that are a bust of 40 inches, a waist of 33 inches, and hip of 42 inches. So that is pretty close to what my measurements are. I'm a 38 bust. Bust doesn't really matter in this pattern because it's bottoms. And my waist is a 32 and my hips are a 42. So size 14 it is. The fabric I'm going to be using is a really lightweight denim. This is probably a 3 to 5 ounce, I would guess, but it's beautiful and it'll be perfect for the upcoming hot weather. So I have my cutting mat here, my rotary cutter, and then my pattern weights, which I covered in this ribbon. So let's go ahead and go over the pattern pieces and get to cutting out our fabric and sewing. If you are new here, please like this video and subscribe for more sewing content. Alright, so for pattern pieces we have the back, the center front, this is the side front, and then we have our pocket, which this will fold up like this to create the pocket, and then we will attach the side front at the top of the pocket there. I looked over the directions one time, so I'm familiar with this tricky pocket construction. And then we have pocket interfacing. We have center front facing. And these are the side front facings. Then we have our back waistband, which will fold over like that. And then we'll insert elastic. So without further ado, let's cut out our fabric. So the first step in making the Pietra shorts or pants is constructing the pocket by attaching the pocket piece to the side front piece, as you can see I'm doing here. And you attach them at the diagonal, and by folding up the pocket piece, it creates the pocket, as you can see. And now it's one fluid piece that we will later attach to the center front pieces. Now it's time to assemble the front facings. I'm attaching the side front facings to the center front facing, and then we will attach this right sides together to the waistband of the front half of the shorts. now that the facing for the front half of the shorts has been understitched and pressed, it's now time to assemble the back half of the shorts. So I'm just attaching these back pieces at the center back seam, and then we will go from there. Alright, so now I am pressing up the hem of the back waistband, and this is where we will stitch in the ditch and catch it later on once we have inserted our elastic. Alright, now I'm pinning the waistband to the back piece of the shorts, and I'm pinning it at the edge that is not pressed up, as you can see. And I'll go ahead and attach this and sew it and press it, serge it, and then we'll be ready to attach it to the front piece. Alright, so I am attaching the back to the front at the midpoint there on the back waistband. That will meet the top of the front piece. That is because we are going to eventually fold over the waistband, so it will be half of the width that it currently is, and it will all come together. Okay, it's now time to attach the elastic to the back waistband, and I'm using the side seam stitching line as my guide, and I'll just be sewing right over that to attach this one side, or the first side of the elastic. Here I'm just going over that straight stitch with a few layers of zigzag stitch just to make sure that the elastic is secure. So we're going to fold over this seam here and pop that right side out, as you can see, and by doing that we have a nice clean corner there. This is by far my least favorite part and the messiest looking part on my shorts, but it is now time to stitch in the ditch to attach almost all of the waistband. Remember, it's folded in half, so we just have to, sew that last hem. And yeah, the directions are pretty clear. They tell you to leave 4 inches at the other end, so you have plenty of room to attach that side of the waistband. This is a very tricky part, and I really wish I would have pinned before I did this instead of just trying to freehand it. I had to go back and re-sew in places that I accidentally caught the edge of the elastic that's in there. So don't be like me and just pin it. And take your time, because I think I went a little bit too quickly. Just to clarify, stitching in the ditch itself isn't very tricky. It just takes a lot of practice to perfect, and you have to be precise, and you have to know, where your underside of the waistband is at all times. And I should have pinned this, like I said, but don't be discouraged from this. It just takes a lot of practice, which I haven't had a lot of practice with it. So that is something that I need to work on. Alright, now I'm attaching the other side of the elastic to the side seam just like I did the first side. In the same method, I'm using that side seam as a guide, doing a few layers of zigzag to make sure it's super secure. I'm just closing up this gap here in the waistband, and then I just have to hem it and I will be done. And here they are. I'm super happy with how they turned out. They're quite wrinkly in this clip, but I think you still get the idea. I was originally, they're very comfortable and the fit is awesome. I was originally thinking that the back rise was a little bit too steep and giving me a bit of a wedgie. Not really a wedgie, but just cutting in the butt a little bit. But now that I look at it and that I've worn it, I think it's fine. And I think since the fabric is so thin, that kind of accentuates the back rise. But as you see, I think it's fine, and I don't think it's accentuating my derriere any more than it should be. But yeah, I'm really excited to make more versions of these, probably in the linen. I want to make the pants. So yeah, the options are endless. I really hope you enjoyed this video and subscribe for more.